Ladies and gentlemen, a very warm welcome to all of you on this platform. This is an interaction with Naveen Khandelwal, the COO and the CFO of BrightNight India. Welcome to you on our platform, Naveen.
Thanks, Sudheer.
Can I request you to begin this interaction by helping us understand the larger picture about BrightNight India. It's a company that's getting popularity in India, at least now, and so we want to understand if you could introduce the company for us. What are the different business areas that it's present in? What is its vision for India, and also your current projects portfolio?
Sure, Sudhir. Thanks. So yeah, BrightNight is actually a global RE development platform, which is of course headquartered in US, but has presence in various parts of the world. Apart from US, we have operations, large size operations in at least 4 APAC markets. India, of course, the large presence, and then Australia, Philippines, and Bangladesh. These 4 markets we are active in APAC region, and then recently we started European business as well. So that makes us completely or truly global: US, Europe, and APAC. Right now, BrightNight is a very focused and purpose-driven RE developer. And why we say so? That of course all other companies who are doing renewables are also doing great, but the focus of this platform is on renewable power or renewable capacity, not just generation of green electrons. Green electron generation or green electricity is very important, but I think what we realize as a team at BrightNight is equally important is to add dispatchability and the firmness to renewables, so that we can truly start decarbonizing the grid, by which we mean we can replace or take out coal capacities and gas capacities which are in the system despite green energy because of base load requirements, dispatchability requirements. So far, solar and wind and every other technology of renewables has been investing green electrons, but was not able to commit that we will generate this much at this hour of the day. So that's the major differentiator, that we are technology agnostic. We will deploy all renewable energy technologies, wind, solar, various kinds of storage technologies, whatever makes commercial sense in the particular market. But our focus is going to be firm and dispatchable power by utilizing all the renewable technologies. That's the big differentiator or big focus, so to say. Now, apart from global presence, I think storage and various kinds of storage, various technology of storage is again major focus and forte of the platform. Lithium-ion batteries, or BESS we call it, has been there for some time, and most of the players are utilizing that. But BrightNight is evaluating different other technologies beyond BESS as well. Whatever would make commercial sense and will be technologically, let's say, superior and deployable, I think BrightNight is going to be one of the first few to do that. I think I'll take a pause here.
Sure. So Naveen, I wanted to understand if you could take us through the broad projects portfolio that we have globally, and also with a specific focus on India, right? What is the kind of capacity that we have created so far? What are the plans like, particularly for India? And these, like you're saying, this is completely technology agnostic. So what specifically is the kind of capacity addition we are looking at over what period of time, and how are we preparing for that? Yeah.
So globally, as we mentioned, we are focusing, or we are developing projects which are not just single technology, but multi-technology. So in US, we are doing, because that market allows that, mostly solar plus batteries. But we are also integrating wind at certain projects. And we are also combining, with the help of proprietary tools, the green exchanges energy. So the way in India, we have markets like GTEM and GDEM. In US also you can procure green energy. So what we are trying to do in US market is combining all the technologies and commit both availability and CUFs to the clients, right? 80%, 90%, both availability and CUF. So that's the US, where we are developing more than 20 gigawatts. Coming to APEC side of it, in Australia, again, it is, or let me first talk about India. So in India, because India is very though very large market, but very, very cost conscious market. And we have both sensitivity towards land efficiency for the projects. So we are doing in India mostly co-located hybrid projects, which we are developing in 5 states of the country to begin with: Rajasthan, Gujarat, Maharashtra, Karnataka, and Tamil Nadu. Most of our projects are co-located. A couple of projects are non-co-located also, but no project in our portfolio is non-hybrid. So we will do minimum wind plus solar, and we'll keep evaluating possibilities of adding storage to it. Now, it could be battery storage or it could be pumped hydro storage, depending on, again, the need of the tender and other requirements. Yeah. In India, what is also important is we are targeting to serve both the client segments, utilities on one side and corporates on the other side. So corporates are also evolving now. Earlier, they used to ask for only cheapest solar electricity, but now good corporates are saying, no, I'm willing to pay higher as long as you help me in achieving higher black or brown energy substitution and help me decarbonize fast, help me achieve my RE100 goal or net zero goals or all these kind of things. There are hybrid projects or RTC projects are a perfect fit. Because what we realized in our first project in Maharashtra, which we are doing 100 megawatt co-located hybrid in Maharashtra, with pure solar or wind, you are able to achieve maximum of 40, 45, 50, or even with oversizing, let's say 60% load replacement, right? Black or brown energy replacement. With our project, which is hybrid co-located, currently without battery, we will add batteries to it going forward. We are able to achieve 75-80% also. With batteries, we'll be able to achieve 85%. So imagine the happiness of a client who says, I'm willing to pay you 10, 15, 20 paisa higher if that's the requirement of the. But you are helping me achieve my decarbonization goals much faster. So that's our focus. So we are helping corporates also. And at the same time, large utility off-takers like SECI, NTPC, NHPC, SJVNL, even railways. Railways came out with a superb tender last quarter, as all of us know it, which are focused on availability and higher PLF. So all these are right client segments for us, where we want to deliver this firm, dispatchable, high PLF renewables by combining all the commercially viable technologies with and without storage, depending on the requirement and the suitability. That's about India. In Australia and Philippines also, we are doing mostly solar plus wind plus batteries, or solar plus wind plus pumped hydro. So that's the DNA of BrightNight, combining all the technologies. Last thing before I take a pause, in US, we have already started serving green hydrogen market as well. So we have signed 2 PPAs. We are supplying high PLF, low cost RE power, and the end user is actually producing hydrogen by installing their own electrolyzers and then supplying it to either hydrogen cars, hydrogen the vehicles, or let's say industrial hydrogen customers. So that we have started in US. I think in India it will take a couple of more years before we address green hydrogen market. Currently we are focusing on green electricity market. No doubt,
US is a very, very advanced market as compared to markets like India. But I completely agree on the point about having hybrid co-located projects, because that is also in line with a larger trend in the industry. Going forward, in fact, there's a view that most of the tenders that will come up will be for hybrid RTC kind of power. So it's good to see that there's a lot of focus there. But coming to the point, what kind of capacity do we want to? Are we working on a target in India, for example? What is the target for capacity addition? How much money and capital will go there? And that brings me also to the point about the recent capital raise that the company did. How does that fit into the entire strategy? If you could briefly cover these points.
Sure, Sudheer. So in India, the first target which we have set up for ourselves is achieving a couple of gigawatts in next, let's say 2 to 3 years time frame. We already have 1.5 gigawatt under various stages of development. The most advanced are 2 projects. One is in Maharashtra, 100 megawatt co-located hybrid, which is ready to start construction as early as next quarter. And that is hopefully getting commissioned within this financial year. Second project we are doing is in Rajasthan, which is again 700 megawatt co-located wind solar hybrid, which will again address both the client segments. We will bid for RTC projects of SECI and NTPC from there, as well as we will do CTU CNI from there for large industrial corporates or industrial sort of off-takers. So these two are most advanced stage projects. Apart from this, we have pipeline in Gujarat, again, second project in Maharashtra, and then Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. So that's the pipeline. So there are no, let's say, what should I say, headline target. We don't want to make tall claims like we are doing 10 gigawatts in next 4 years or 5 years. We are taking one step at a time. So 2 gigawatts is the initial target in next 3 years. And after that, we will do subsequent sort of target revisions or target review. Now coming to, it will be combination of utilities and CNI, as I mentioned. It could be 60-40, it could be 50-50, but it's going to be balanced portfolio so that we get both the market segments. In terms of capital requirement, another, so we recently closed our first capital raise from external sort of party, which is a very large regional strategic conglomerate called Ayala Group. So Ayala Group is a large group in Philippines, 150-year-old conglomerate. So their company called AC Energy, ASEN they call it. ASEN has committed $3 million to the platform. That will be good for us for next 2 to 3 years. And after that, we'll go for second capital raise and so on and so forth. So this $250 million should allow us to commission, let's say, 1.2 to 1.3 gigawatts. And after that, we'll raise more capital. Partnership with Ayala is also beyond capital. Also, it brings a lot of other things on the table or to the partnership, because they are, they have set a 20 gigawatt target for themselves, which they want to achieve from the region. So Philippines is their home market, so they will do large capacity from there. After Philippines, I think the largest share for Ayala is going to come from India, and BrightNight is going to be a major contributor to that target. So that's why we are not kind of bothered about, let's say, availability of capital or addition of megawatts. I think our focus is going to be serve clients in a disciplined fashion. And another thing which we are also highlighting is, apart from customers' need, is the early stage development of the projects. That is another major differentiator for the platform. We spend more amount of time and energy in preparing the projects before we shoot for PPA or before we aim the PPA. Because
when things like land acquisition, for example,
land evacuation, resource assessment, so that if we want to target RE/RTC, then this beforehand preparation or early stage preparation is very, very key. We have that DNA as well. Yeah.
Okay. No, that's right. I mean, the other thing that I wanted to talk to you about is about storage and hydrogen. You briefly touched upon them, and no doubt when you are looking at RTC kind of power, dispatchable power, these things come. They have a very important role to play. Now, I want to understand from you as a market, how as a market for energy storage, for example, how mature India is, right? We are still to come into a phase at a national level, where we will have large scale capacity getting created at a fast pace. We are still to hit that stage, right? So what's your view on that? Are we taking the right steps? How are we moving in that direction? Is there enough, policy, regulatory, and technology support that we have here? Is that available? And similarly on green hydrogen side too. Yeah.
Sure. So Sudheer, I'll answer this question in two sort of approaches. One is, if you do absolute progress, I think India has done a lot. India has done great in last, let's say, 2 to 3 years, both on storage as well as on hydrogen, right? But if you do relative analysis, then of course, other Western markets are a little bit ahead, especially US, both on storage technologies as well as on hydrogen. So relative wise, we need to do a lot more work, but on absolute sort of intervention or policy and regulatory support wise, I think India has done great work. The kind of enabling regulations which we saw, that was very, very impressive. And let's start with, let's say, batteries. Now in batteries, we have got PLI in place, right? We have a lot of domestic capacity coming up. We came out with a tender, 1000 megawatt hour tender was the largest in the world, single location, right? Then there are many tenders in the pipeline. So I think we are taking all the right steps. It might take a couple of more years. Unfortunately, battery prices are not helping us. And now the value chain we were not able to control the full value chain. But with recent discoveries of lithium in the country and work on other technologies beyond lithium, like aluminum air, iron air, and couple of other technologies where India is doing a lot of R&D work, with the help of PSUs and good institutions, I think India is very well positioned to capitalize on the storage thing in next, let's say, 2 years to 8 years or 10 years window. So I think India is doing good, but we are yet to see a meaningful deployment of capacity, right? But that will start. And both utility side of the business and mobility side of the business, both are supporting development of battery ecosystem in the country, which is improving quarter by quarter. So I think we are doing good, but a lot more ground to cover, a long way to go. Coming to hydrogen, again, we saw green hydrogen mission. We saw $2.4 billion getting allocated to it, and multi-dimensional and multi-intervention and multiple stage intervention got announced, and that is being followed up and followed through by various active engagement by MNRE and the interministerial sort of committee. So again, direction wise, we are all good. Policy regulatory support wise, we are all good. But again, what I don't want to say is that yes, India will be the next 2 years. No, I think we'll take little bit more time. Western economies can afford to, for the lack of better words, support, whether fiscal or monetary or policy wise, they can do much better, much faster. That's what they are doing. But India otherwise is very, very well placed. Ecosystem is maturing. And people like us who are focused on one part of it, which is how to achieve optimized LCOE for high PLF green electricity, because that's at the core of the green hydrogen generation, right? Around 65-70% cost of green hydrogen comes from green electricity first, apart from electrolyzer. So all that is good. I think we are very, very bullish and very, very positive about India's both potential and the delivery expectations. Yeah.
Naveen, if I can ask you the last question of this conversation, how would you say international or global investors are currently viewing India as an opportunity for energy transition, right? And what could be the key, bottlenecks, if I were to put it that way, or concerns in that journey as we move ahead?
Sure. So let me answer first part, which is how investors are viewing it. I think investors are, for the lack of better word, loving it. Most of the global investors are already here, and whosoever is not here is about to deploy capital, because three things which India offers are kind of uncomparable or unbeatable, which is scale. Number one is scale. Second is policy push and regulatory support to it, right? The kind of policy support, policy push and regulatory support which we got in last 2 to 3 years, though we have been getting that for last full decade, but what happened in last 3 years or 2.5 years is impressive. The de-risking of the sector, the bankability of the PPA, significant investment on grid infrastructure, and enabling faster approvals and clearances. All these things are going, going in the right direction and only improving. So that is building the confidence of all global investors, and the kind of scale which India can give. I think not many markets in the world can actually meet or beat, right? So global investors are very happy about it. I think when you talk about, another aspect which I wanted to add to investor perspective is recycling of capital. So another factor which investors look at is, one is what the return you are making and are you able to monetize the return. So recycling of capital and exit situations are also very important. That's where we saw again very good traction in India. Lot of investors could recycle their capital, which boosts the confidence of next set of investors or repeat plays of the same investors, that they will be able to not just deploy capital, but exit and make meaningful returns and take money home back, right? So which is equally important. So that is good for investors. Couple of things which are kind of areas to address or concerns. Though you might say this is cliched, but let's say land still continues to be one of the major issues, right? Though significant improvement we have witnessed in last 1 decade, but it's still a long way to go. Full digitization of land records and all those things is going to be helpful, but So some work is needed on land side. Evacuation is improving. And GNA regulation is a very impressive regulation. By the way, we were one of the first applicants there. But yeah, GNA is very good. Couple of other things which where we could do little bit better is DISCOM's health. I know there are no easy solutions there, but I think that is being seen by investor community as one major area of improvement. If we can do something about it, I think central government is trying multiple interventions, but I think it will take some more time. But all of us are optimistic about it. And third is, I think the currency thing is also one of the concerns for investors. But more and more investors are getting comfortable with it. So dollarized returns versus rupee based returns, I think investors compare that. But when you look at the scale and the pace of deployment of capacity and capital, I think investors are reasonably happy with it. So I think we are going to see tremendous amount of capital flow, both equity on debts as well as on debt side in next full decade. I think we'll have multiple of hundreds of billions of dollars coming into India. And now even domestic corporates have started deploying meaningful capital. Earlier, it was mostly foreign capital, but now if you look at Indian corporates also, most of them have started taking renewable business as one of the main businesses. So I think we are very well positioned for next couple of decades, whether it is green electricity or green fuels. I think India to do superb.
Okay. So I think I'm done with the question and I'm done with my questions, Naveen. And what a great experience talking to you. It always is. We have talked about the larger industry trends, and we have also got the opportunity to understand the company's own plans, which are quite ambitious in this area. So thank you for your time, Naveen. And we really look forward to hosting you again on this platform. Thanks.
Thanks, Sudheer. Thank you. Bye-bye. Take care.
Bye.